What's up, everyone? This is the greatest travel podcast in the universe, most likely. And today, I'm telling you 3 places not to travel. Now, I'm not saying like places that you wouldn't travel normally, like Hamilton, Ontario, Winnipeg, Tucson, Topeka, Kansas. I'm saying like vacation spots, respectfully to all those 4 places. Never go to Hamilton. And Winnipeg is iffy. Tucson, we basically we don't need to get into it. I'm not going to get into it. As I always reiterate, there's people who vacation and there's people who travel. These places, only people who vacation go there. They're awful. It's just if you want to get drunk at a pool and never leave the resort, maybe it's for you. And I'm lucky and I'm being bougie because I can just drink at a pool where I live year round. But I really want you to experience the culture of where you travel. So while this is a negative podcast, it's actually a positive to like push you out of your comfort zone. I hate all-inclusive resorts. Like hate, double hate, loathe. What? Hate all-inclusive resorts. I could write a whole thing about them. So unless it's like your first time traveling out the country, maybe second time, I'm still a little leery. Or like a wedding where everyone's together in one resort, never stay at an all-inclusive resort. And don't go to these places that I'm about to tell you about. I just want you, to taste the foods, experience things, not just do stuff you can do in the USA or Canada in a nicer climate. A couple of theories I've put together is like if a place is too touristy or Americanized, we'll use that term, Americanized. It's kind of like when you know a place is racist. Like you're not sure it's racist, but it has all the familiar symptoms of being a place that's racist. Like Confederate flag bumper stickers in the parking lot, or impromptu USA chants, MAGA hats, people wearing like guns or freedom shirts. Or when you're ordering a drink and like a stranger leans in and like, not getting that Bud Light, are you, buddy? Like that kind of stuff. It's got the symptoms of a place that might have just a hint, a little sprinkle of racism, or like a bucket, whatever. Same idea goes here. Is my theories. 2 theories. Sunburn theory. There's a direct correlation of aggressive sunburns to shitty touristy places. So it's like, if you're listening and you can't see me move my hands, it's like as one goes up, the other goes up, like a chart or a graph. I failed Math 11 multiple times, so I don't know what those graphs are called, but we'll call it a graph. You know what a graph is, don't you? So yeah, like just really bad sunburns, if there's a lot of them, like it looks like white tank top and then red arms, sleeves, and lots of them, that it's just people fresh off the boat from America or Canada and just right to the beach playing awful music loud ignorantly for everyone else to hear that they don't want to listen to, versus like a place you travel and a place that you like more. It's like people live there, they experience a bit more. There's more expats, like just kind of like nice tans gradually. They understand the concept versus just fried because they don't know any better. So that's that sunburn correlation theory. I can get into it more. Maybe I'll write a paper on it. But that, and then drinking Coronas. First of all, Coronas they're awful. Like they're literally the worst. Coronas taste like beer the first time you ever tried beer. It gets like skunky and bad. If you have to add fruit to something to make it taste better, it can't be good. And it's just, on top of being gross, it's like super ignorant. People like, I was in Costa Rica and people are like, oh, we're on vacation, let's drink some Coronas. It's like, first of all, idiot. Coronas are like a half-ass-ish Mexican beer. Like, drink Imperial in Costa Rica. Like, it's almost racist that you think Costa Ricans drink Coronas. Like, oh, they've got darker skin than I do. Surely they love Coronas. And maybe Coronas used to be cool, like during the Fast and Furious days, and now you're like saying stupid ass quotes when you drink them, like "We familia, we always going to be familia. I live my life 1 quarter beach at a time." Like, just nonsense. Coronas should be cut out of the world. I like everything else for the most part. Corona did not pay me to advertise my disdain for them, or maybe it would have been better if I said Dos Equis did not pay me. Well, I love Dos Equis though. Dos Equis right up there. So yeah, I'm being a bit of a travel snob, but again, this is me just trying to get you out of your comfort zone. Another sort of no, like a pet peeve, if you will, is wearing the clothes of the country that you're in. It's like if you buy like a Mexico shirt, like a Puerto Vallarta shirt, and you wear it in Puerto Vallarta, or a Hawaiian shirt in Hawaii. Oh my God. At Dick's, is that what it's called? Dick's in Oahu, my least favorite place on earth. Ah, kill me. Again, I'm just trying to help you. It's kind of like those commercials, like don't be like your parent commercials. I'm just trying to travel and give you a little bit of panache, if you will, when you travel. Also, Canadians, I'm Canadian. Stop wearing Canada stuff everywhere. We get it. I still rock like a Jays hat. I'm wearing a hockey hat right now. It's Penguins hat, but maybe something subtle here and there. Sports stuff or jerseys, fine. But like, I am Canadian and can't, like, no one, everyone's like, we get it. They're sick of it. We're embarrassing ourselves. No one wants to hear that you're from Canada. I mean, if they ask, tell them. But it's like, it'd be like if someone from Alabama came to Canada and wore like Freedom USA shirts and it was like, I'm from America. Almost like that. Maybe not as aggressive, but imagine that, how much you'd hate that person. This is what the world looks at us for being Canadians, because we put it everywhere. Patches everywhere. And I love that we're proud. I'm very proud. As you follow my Instagram, I'm posting Canada sports left and right. But again, just trying to help out a little bit. Another rule I'm adding to life before we get to, I just realized it kind of falls in this line of stuff, of being a snob. I'm no longer going anywhere where you need a key or like a passcode to get into the bathroom. And in the USA, I'll preface it in the USA, like maybe in Canada, like I'm from a place where I grew up in my area, everywhere had to have a key. So I get it. I don't even ever want to go there. The area where I grew up, the city where I grew up, fine. The area, no, unless it's to visit Brett and his family in Cara. But aside from that, it's just in the USA, I feel like again, correlation using my hands, the graph hands. There's a correlation between potential to get shot and using a key or a passcode to get in the bathroom. I recently went to Five Guys and I had to I love Five Guys, by the way. It's the best burger, one of the best burgers ever. And I had to use a passcode. I did a hike, and so my hands were dirty, so I wanted to wash my hands. And I had to use a passcode to get in the bathroom, kind of a sketchy part of town. And that was just when I realized, like, I'm just going to Uber Eats it from here on out. It's not worth it. It's not risk my life for Five Guys. So correlation of sunburns to touristy places, correlations of freedom and gun shirts to racist places, and correlations of needing a key to get in a bathroom somewhere or a passcode to getting shot in the USA. Those are all things we found out. So I'm glad you hung around for 9 minutes. Let's get into 3 places not to go. And this will be quick. This will be the quickest part of the podcast. Number 1, because I was just there, Tamarindo, Costa Rica. That place is an absolute shithole. It is just white people playing I went down yonder on the Chattahoochee, like that kind of shit. Oh my God. And just the beach sucks. It's dirty. People are getting shot left and right, extorted. It's just the one bar in town I went to like 15 years ago. It was kind of cool. Now it's just awful. And again, I'm old now, so like if you're young, it was like a frat party on the beach, but like a shitty frat party, like one of the bad frats that you don't want to hang out with. It just was no good. The food was there. Actually, there was one restaurant, Dragonfly. I had the full fish. That was the best full fish I had in Costa Rica. So aside from that place, do not go. It's just sketchy, super touristy, sunburns everywhere. One street traffic. Oh, is it because there's just one street and just the traffic is brutal. It's loud, cacophony. I hate it. So that's one. And there's nothing to do. The things you can do in all these places, you can do anywhere else. Like you can go fishing, you can go on a booze cruise, you can go on a sunset cruise, you can go ziplining, blah, blah, blah. You can do that anywhere. So instead of Tamarindo, go to Nosara or Samara, which are paradise. Absolute, like night and day paradise. I'll do a Samara and Nosara podcast separately, but truly like the polar opposites of places. And so Tamarindo is out. Do not go there. It's almost like going to Old Vegas. I don't know if you've been to Old Vegas. It's the stuff on that street that you see. And I had to stay there for work and I walked off it. And if you get off that main little Old Vegas-y strip, like there's just people laying on the ground doing drugs everywhere. It's like a war zone, but of just drug addicts everywhere. Which I don't want to get canceled for being anti-drug addicts, but I feel like I think that's kind of something I can be against, right? I don't know what in 2024, I don't know what is good and what is like what you can say and you can't. Like Kenny Smith, he got in trouble yesterday for saying what's her name, Sabrina, the women's WNBA player, should have shot from the women's 3-point line in her competition against Steph, which I'm not going to say anything about, but Kenny's getting in trouble for saying a woman should have shot from the 3-point line that women use. It was an interesting anti-Kenny the Jet take. And I'm not like a Kenny the Jet fan. But it was, so now I don't know what to say. Like drug addicts are bad. In 10 years, what if I can't say that anymore? And then anyways, moving on. Number 2, Cabo San Lucas. And now when I say Cabo San Lucas, just like when I said Tamarindo, you can go to different places. Like, is it what's the city just up from like Cabo is kind of cool and a touch more authentic. There's great surfing as well by there. What the hell is it? I still wouldn't go at all anyways, but San Jose del Cabo, is that what it is? So Cabo, sorry. In Canada, we call it Cabo, and Americans call it Cabo. So I apologize if I say one way or the other that you don't like. So yeah, San Jose del Cabo. It's like a little bit more authentic. And then there's incredible surfing like right near there. And then I've also heard a lot that going up north the coast, they're building a ton up there. So I think the thing that I love about Mexico, there's so much more new places further away that you can visit. And like you can go around the tip in Cabo. I have a friend who goes there all the time. That's just like super authentic, safe, beautiful. Same thing like going to Sayulita instead of Puerto Vallarta, or going to Huatulco, which I mispronounce all the time, or going to Guadalajara. Those kind of things. There's some great, unique places to go instead of Cancun, Cabo, Puerto Vallarta. So I don't like Cabo itself. If you go maybe north or west, far, like an hour, fine. But Cabo itself, again, I don't have a euphemism for shithole. Like I called tamarindo it. I have a journalism degree. I should probably find another term that I can say instead of just saying shithole over again, but I'll ruminate about it. See, I use the word cacophony and ruminate so that when I can't figure out another word for shithole, that still sounds smart. But Cabo is the exact same thing. It's just like no culture. Culture actually is worse. You can't even swim in half the beaches in Cabo because the whatever the riptide or whatever the hell it is. So you can't swim in half the beaches. The beaches are rocky, like the worst beaches in Mexico. Maybe Puerto Vallarta, but no, it's the worst. Rocky beaches. The only thing I even like about Cabo was the one time my friend, we won't talk about her, but she had a great time. And we tell stories about it. Alexandra. If you ever want a good Cabo story, we'll tell you about Alexandra's trip. And that affectionately was her bachelorette party, essentially. She never got a bachelorette party after that. And she's never been back to Mexico since. So I'm not saying you can't have a great time in Cabo. It's just, again, a frat party. And you can go fishing. I've had great times in Cabo, but it's just not why you travel to Mexico. I could do that and have that same great time in Scottsdale or San Diego. You can go fishing and you can go on the booze cruise and go look at the arch. It's like, oh, cool, the arch. I don't know. It's not that impressive. I'd rather look at the seals in Pacific Beach or what beach is it in San Diego? More north. You know what I'm talking about. So I'm out on Cabo. And the other same thing is just a strip of bars. It's super Americanized, no culture, relatively compared to the other places you can go. So instead of that, like Holbox, you can go to Huatulco, which I've never pronounced correctly. You can go to Sayulita. You can go to what's that place? I haven't been, but it's been on my list forever. It's just hard to get to. Not hard, but longer to get to. Punta Mita. It's kind of expensive in Punta Mita. That's not the one I was coming, but Punta Mita is cool. Or I really want to go to Bacalar. Bacalar. It's like the French Riviera of Mexico. It's this lagoon, very not Tulum-y. Like I want you to go to places that were Tulum 20 years ago. Back when you go to a cenote and there was like me and 5 Mexican families and that was it. Now it's an American pool. Every cenote is overpopulated and miserable. So this is why I'm giving you this worst places to travel. So you go to these other places instead. And then let's get out of the Americas for one, which I was thinking this before my friend Dean went there. It just makes it better. I'll send you some videos if you direct message me of Dean's trip in this area. But Phuket, Thailand. Epic videos from Phuket. It's the exact same thing. It's Cabo. It's the Thai version of Cabo. It's just overpopulated. At least Bangkok. Bangkok's crazy, but it's awful, but it's something you have to go to. Like you just have to see Bangkok. It's an experience. Where Phuket is just a beach city that's run down, shitty. It can be very pretty. There are pretty pictures. There's cool stuff to do. But go to the islands. I would say go to Vietnam instead. Maybe Cambodia, but for the beaches, probably just the Thai islands. Just Phuket is just, again, Americanized, over touristy. I was there 20 years ago, and it wasn't great. Now it's just going to, not great. It's just the stuff going on there. I don't know. I don't want you to go there. I want you to experience some other stuff. So I want you to go to Siem Reap in Cambodia. I want you to go up and down Vietnam. Skip Thailand completely. Vietnam is Thailand 30 years ago. And just as beautiful. Like the amazing in Hanoi. I don't know if I've talked about this before, but you can go to Sapa. which your computer screen probably is like, what's it called? The screensaver probably is Sapa, like the rice paddies and terraces. I've never been to Switzerland, but I looked and I was like, damn, you could think you're in Switzerland. Not the rice paddy part, but just in the town. And then I actually Googled it one time, and someone, like, people say that it is like Asia's Switzerland or something like that. But Sapa is stunning. Halong Bay, Google Halong Bay right now. Halong. You can do like boat tours that go through there, and you like sleep on the boat for a night or two and sleep on an island for a night. Wow. Hanoi itself is really cool as a big city. And then there, Hoi An, Da Nang. One of my favorite experiences of my entire life was in Da Nang with my soccer buddies, my Vietnamese beach world champion soccer buddies. And there's another town I'm forgetting. But check out Vietnam if you have to, instead of Phuket. If I hear you went to Phuket, like Dean went to Phuket, and we haven't heard from him since. Phuket has him now. This is the greatest travel podcast in the universe, most likely. I'm Fraser Laveay, InspireTravelEat.com. I hope I helped you. I can't think if I wanted to say anything else, but I thought leaving on the Dean has him now was good. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Maybe just edit that part out I just said. Enjoy your day or week.